Greetings, dear Virgos. It's me, your tarot reader, Angelica. Today is the second tarot reading for April 2025. Let's get ready for April. Let's see what April will bring you, and we'll look at the 3 most important events that await you in April 2025. By the way, in April the eclipse corridor ends, actually not in April but on the 29th of March. So I hope that April will be much easier for everyone. It came up. Let it stay and we'll look further. So, the first important event, the second important event, and the third important event for you in April 2025. Next, with another deck, we'll see what awaits you in your professional activities. What will your income be in April? And we'll see what awaits you in your personal life in April 2025. In personal life, in relationships. What changes might occur, or on the contrary, will everything remain stable? So personal life. With the same deck, we'll look at what to pay attention to in terms of health. And now advice from the cards for you, dear Virgos. So, the first important event, the 2 of Swords. The second important event, the Major Arcana, the Emperor. The third important event, the 6 of Pentacles. Well, I think that April is a month when you will need to show strength, either in making an important decision, in some significant matter, or perhaps even in learning. Strength in, let's say, earning, or implementing your ideas and plans. Well, now let's go in order. The 2 of Swords indicates that there will be some kind of, let's say, challenge, I would say, or some problem or situation, circumstances, in which you will find yourself, and it will seem like you have 2 choices. But neither of these choices will satisfy you, resulting in growing internal tension. And it will be very important for you to maintain balance and equilibrium. Moreover, it's not just important. You will want this because you will understand that if you don't maintain this balance, it will be very difficult for you. When we are emotionally unstable, everything is difficult for us. But when we are composed, we are focused, we can calmly react to upcoming events and accordingly make appropriate decisions. Also, there might be something like this with the 2 of Swords. When, once again, you understand that something is happening, there might be a problem, but you are delaying, making a decision in every possible way. You wait patiently, you bide your time. You understand that you have many options. See, there are these kinds of signs here. There are many options, well, at least 2, but none of them are satisfactory. And therefore, you understand that it's probably better for you to wait and observe. What if something changes? What if a more suitable solution to this situation is found? But of course, doubts may also be present here. There might be some indecisiveness regarding making a decision. Maybe something like this. See, the girl here is sitting as if she has lowered her eyes. This card suggests that you are closing your eyes to something, to the truth, to falsehood, to something you simply do not wish to see. And accordingly, this is a situation where there might even be, a sort of meditation, be a deep, not even meditation, but meditative contemplation on some issue. For many of you, dear Virgos, this might indeed be a situation that feels like a test, where you will need to demonstrate your strength. Here, strength is not necessarily physical. Here, it's more about strength of will, strength of patience, or perhaps in some situations, it's strength of persuasion. But in any case, you will overcome your doubts, indecision will fade away, because strength is a card of victory. You will achieve victory in some situation that is important to you. And we will, of course, look here at what it will affect more, work or perhaps personal life or maybe even health. And we will talk in more detail. But for now, the cards show that by going through a certain test of your endurance, your patience, or perhaps your conviction, you will emerge victorious. Next, the next important event is the Magician, a Major Arcana. The Magician, again, is very powerful, I want to tell you. This is active engagement. Perhaps educational matters will come to the forefront. This is the desire to present yourself and showcase yourself. This is the desire to lead some individual projects, or for example, to become businessmen or businesswomen. This card represents incredible self-confidence in one's own abilities. And this is when you don't need anyone, you clearly know what you need to do and how. But with this card, there can also be a deep dive into some work process, a work task, or perhaps into business, with the desire to achieve the maximum. Moreover, with the Magician, many matters that, for instance, have stalled, and I also want to say that they have stalled because the planets are moving. Or rather, they are already in retrograde Mercury, retrograde Venus, and there's also the eclipse corridor. So for many, it seems like things have come to a halt. Something isn't being resolved. Agreements aren't being reached. You won't experience everything. You will achieve your desires in negotiations. The Magician symbolizes willpower. And that means everyone will submit to your will. You just need to wish for it and take action. So with the Magician, you can make powerful transformations in your life. Also, the Magician is always a new idea. Therefore, here you might have the beginning of some new venture, enterprise, or business. And you will be very active in this regard, showing a lot of initiative in developing this venture or idea. Well, or something else new will come into your life. And this new thing might come with the receipt of some news or information. Maybe you sent out resumes, a response will come. Maybe you are applying somewhere, again you sent documents, a response will come. Maybe you submitted documents for something, again a response will come. So here are very good news that will, let's say, both inspire and invigorate you. You will be very active. And the Six of Pentacles. This card indicates the balance will be restored for you, balance in everything, in relationships with people, in some of your affairs. What was, let's say, stalled, what wasn't working, what let's say, wasn't growing will now start to grow. Yes, there is no balance here. However, you will still find a way out of a situation and you will still be restoring your balance. And the Six of Pentacles is a card of success. It's not only about balance and interaction like mutual assistance and support, but this card also signifies success and prosperity. And it indicates that if you need support, you will receive it. If you reach out to certain people, once again, these people will be ready to help you. But quite likely it won't be you reaching out because you have the Magician, but rather people will be coming to you for help. It's like in fairy tales, help me, kind young man, and I will repay you with kindness. So here it's the same situation. People will come to you for help, you will assist them, and then let's say people will come to your aid in your difficult situations. Or they will repay you with some kind of kindness. And here I'm not necessarily talking about finances. There might also be some gifts, perhaps a reward. Maybe you will engage in charity, or someone will do some good deeds for you. But if you have any court cases or perhaps some legal documents have stalled somewhere, then most likely the documents will come through and you will win the case in court. These are the main events, and by the way, they are quite powerful events. Now let's see what awaits you in your professional activities. Six of Swords. What awaits you in finances? Seven of Cups. In professional activities, the Six of Swords can manifest, and by the way, the Magician as well, as engaging in some kind of scientific work, perhaps enrolling somewhere and moving to study. Or it could be work related to scientific research and you travel for business trips, possibly involving a lot of intellectual work. And the Magician indicates that there is a lot of work, experiments, maybe something else like that. Or perhaps there is a lot of information that you will be collecting, processing, studying, systematizing, and so on. You might be disseminating some information. That is, it comes to you, you process it and forward it to someone. Well, here too, of course, there are very well thought out steps in terms of work. Here the activity is very strong, in fact. And Mac also mentions this, the activity is very strong in work. There might be some active mediation here as well. And also, looking for ways to expand horizons. If you are engaged in trade, literally in the sense of searching for new markets. Incredible initiative and activity. For some, it might manifest as a change of profession. Again, if you, for example, submitted documents somewhere or are looking for a job in another city, in another country, then it is quite likely that something will change here in April. And you are most likely to accept this offer because news might come here. Yes, and maybe even someone will provide you with a recommendation. And generally, you are most likely then. You will go to another city, another country, or change your profession or place of work, or you are searching for yourself in some scientific research and you go somewhere to study. Well, that is in April you will have some new goals, but here it's not just about goals, it's also about the means to achieve these goals. And if, for example, something is unprofitable or your income doesn't please you much, then most likely you will be very active in changing your life. And in the long run, according to the Six of Swords, there are indeed better times ahead. Ahead, where you are heading, and the transition, that is, the card as a transitional one. The transition to these better times will require certain efforts and decision-making from you. By the way, the Two of Swords might play out here as there's an interesting offer, but you kind of don't really want to go. You want to stay where you are, but there are prospects there. These, doubts might arise. But overall, this is a good card and speaks of changes that will happen for you in April. In terms of finances, the Seven of Cups. This card indicates that you do have money. That is, if you were receiving a salary, you will continue to receive it. But under no circumstances with this card should you trust someone, Give your money away or talk about how much money you have, what your plans are, what your earnings are, and so on. Because the Seven of Cups is a card of naivety, a card of idealism and some fantasies. Here you can imagine a lot of things for yourself, for example, and be cautious in this regard. You can fall into the hands of scammers, because with this card people easily deceive themselves, and naturally, when a person is ready to be deceived, they are deceived. Therefore, silence in terms of finances. Don't tell anyone anything. Work on your well-being and try not to trust your finances. And in general, don't talk about your finances to anyone and don't trust your finances to some people. By the way, I would say that in April, it's not worth investing money in the bank, because again, you might fall victim to your own naivety, so to speak. So let's move on. Next tip is got the personal life. In terms of personal life, here is the Princess of Swords. In the traditional deck, this is the Page of Swords. Well, and the Princess of Wands is the deck Wheel of the Year. But, as they say, the meaning of the interpretation does not change. And as you can see, here the princess is sitting and looking somewhere into the distance. And so the card suggests that if you are in a relationship, a family, or a long-term relationship, there might be a desire to spy on your significant other. Where is she? Who is she with? To peek into her email, her phone, to listen in or eavesdrop on conversations with other people. In short, suspicions may arise here. Suspicion that your significant other is not faithful to you, that she is behaving in some way that is not right, that perhaps she has someone on the side, and so on. And regarding personal life, the Princess of Swords also indicates that you will be worried about the future. But since it specifically pertains to personal relationships, it concerns the future of your personal life, your relationships. And most importantly, this worry manifests in your tendency to gather information about your significant other. You are watching, you are tracking everything, you are jealous. This is a card of jealousy. And distrust may arise in your relationship. And as a result of this distrust, these bouts of jealousy may even lead to a cooling of your feelings. But at the same time, the Princess of Swords is a good card in the sense that you will still be looking for solutions of this problem, of this distrust. And the best thing that can be done according to this card is to talk openly, explain things, and clarify everything. And also, since these are swords, and swords represent the mental sphere, it is very good according to this card to engage your partner's interest. Not by having them keep tabs on you, but by making plans for the future together, having specific goals and developing ways to solve or achieve these goals. So, let's say engage the mind and intellect of your partner with other thoughts, so they don't have time to be jealous of you. And in general, find common interests, so to speak, and let the intellectual sphere work in your favor. Well, for those who are not, in a couple there might be an acquaintance, but keep in mind that the person most likely represented by the Page of Swords will be immature, confrontational, and will constantly make demands, have grievances, be jealous, and perform actions that are incomprehensible to you. Therefore, if you can handle such a person, as they say, go ahead. But if you realize that this is, a person who resembles a nervous teenager, then it's unlikely that anything will work out here. But in any case, assess the situation if you do meet someone. Let's continue. Next we have Health Matters. And here we have the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a card of the fire element, representing power, activity, progress, dynamism, and temperament. It is a fire element. Overall, of course, this card indicates that in April you will have robust health. Moreover, it is such robust health that it can withstand any trials, any difficulties, stresses, or anything else. In general, heavy loads. You can endure them, your health will suffice. However, if some illness does occur, it is most likely to be something related to a high fever, This could be, for example, a scratch or a wound that festers. It could be a burn because of the fiery element. So be careful, follow safety precautions. Well, overall, everything is good here. And now we have the advice left. Advice. The advice is the Five of Pentacles. By the way, I want to show you another deck before the advice. Here at the bottom of the deck it appears. The High Priestess, a major arcana. I think it will resonate with you mostly as a matter of learning, self-discovery and self-development. Perhaps someone will become interested in esotericism, maybe someone will start studying tarot, or perhaps some other esoteric sciences, or maybe someone will consult a tarot reader. The High Priestess is also a tarot reader of the second order. I also want to show you another deck that is also part of our reading. Here is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is a card, once again, of the fire element and of opportunities, perseverance, self-confidence, and very good success, no matter what it pertains to. But it can also be a person of the fire element or a person possessing the qualities of the King of Wands. And this person can help you or resolve some issues with you, or you will interact with them, or they could be your partner. And also I want to tell you at the bottom of the deck what is most pleasant in my opinion here. The Six of Wands, the card of winners. You see the winner's wreath. And here is such a joyful, confident girl. Everyone is happy. That is, there will be some news or events that will delight not only you but also your surroundings. When you will understand that the period of trials is over, incredible opportunities are opening up before you. And this card can also manifest as recognition, achievements, and successes. Well, in general, compare yourself to the winners and you will understand what I am talking about. So all the trials will be left behind and there will be incredible opportunities opening up before you. The most important thing is that you don't hold back and that you take advantage of them yourself. Those chances, opportunities, and offers that will be opening up for you in April 2025. Well, an advice, since here is the Five of Pentacles, advice for you. And again, since there will be some kind of trial and some tension that you will need to go through, the advice is to endure these trials with honor and dignity, not to deviate from your principles, rules, plans, and desires, and to withstand it all, to withstand it with dignity. And also, according to the Five of Pentacles, there's advice here to seek support from those who have already lived through or gone through a similar situation. And then you will understand how to cope with this situation and generally how to resolve it. Or how to come out of this situation as whom? Victors? Well, my dear ones, a very good spread, good opportunities, although there are, of course, still some, let's say, unresolved questions for you, but they will be actively resolved specifically in April 2025. I think you will be able to change a lot in your life. The main thing is to determine your goals and priorities because, once again, you see how many indicators are there. I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to go there. And if you don't know where, then of course there will be tension and a kind of stupor. I don't know. I sit here in my thoughts. I don't know where to run, what to do. I want this. So it's important to determine your goals and priorities here. The most important thing is what I want, where I want to be, with whom I want to be, and so on. And from there, build your plans and calculate your strength to achieve and realize your potential. So April is a good month for you. Thank you. Subscribe to the channel, dear Virgos. I will be very happy to have you. And of course, I thank you for watching. I recommend watching this video. Please take a look. Here's the link at the top. It's about your personal life in the spring of 2025. Well, we'll see each other tomorrow, as always, on the... So let's say goodbye. With love, your Angelica. Hugs to you and goodbye.